Good morning, y'all. Is this microphone ridiculous? We got married like 2 weeks ago. You should have already seen that video because I'm posting it today. And we had microphones on us during the ceremony, and I lost my little corded mic that attaches to my wireless system. And it was really expensive, and I didn't want to buy a new one, but I needed something to muffle the sound, and this microphone setup was like $20. So I feel like a newscaster. But anyway, that's not why we're here today. I was not prepared to make this video this morning, but I woke up to some very exciting things and I had to throw on the camera and show you. If you can't tell, we have 2 incubators full of eggs, chicken eggs. We've had chickens in the past. We inherited chickens when we bought this house from the previous owner because they couldn't take them to their new house. And we've had a many-year journey with chickens. And we found that the coop and chicken run setup that the previous owners built was just not very secure and safe for the birds. We kept getting animals in there and attacking the chickens over the years. And so last year, after a very tragic chicken massacre, we decided no more chickens until we totally renovated the whole setup and kind of changed everything. So we've been working on that over the last couple of weeks. It's not quite finished, but nearly. And so a few weeks ago, I ordered some eggs. And I actually ordered the incubators too because the one I had before was not very good. So I ordered a bunch of different eggs. I basically was trying to order chicken eggs for getting colorful eggs when the chickens begin laying. So I wasn't quite as concerned about the type or breed of chicken as I was about getting really nice colorful eggs. So I put them in the incubators. They're actually in 2 phases. This one right in front of me is why I'm here today. And then there's another one back there with different types of chickens that will not hatch for another couple of weeks. But anyway, chicken eggs are supposed to take 21 days to hatch. It's only day 19, and I woke up to, I think there's 7 birds in there, which is very exciting. And like almost all the rest of the eggs from what I can see are pipping, like it's happening. So I thought I would show you guys what's in there. Most of the chickens have been in there for several hours, I believe, because they're nice and dry. One of them just hatched, so he's still kind of drying off and chilling. But I've set up their little home here, which I'm also going to show you, their little temporary home. And I kind of want to get like 6 of them out of there because they're being very rambunctious and they're kicking around at the other eggs. There's 21 eggs in there. So they say it's okay to leave them in there with the other eggs, but they're pretty wild now. And so the setup is ready for them. So I thought I would take you guys with me and show you the setup. I was totally not ready. I was gonna like maybe make a video today and then take you through the pipping and hatching journey. Nope, it all happened overnight. So this is very exciting. Let me show you, I'll show you the incubator and then I'll show you the little home I've set up for them. I have it up here on my table and I bonked it and spilled some of the water onto the pad, but I think it'll be okay. So let me show you what we're working with. This is so exciting. All right, so I will link this incubator in the description if you're interested. I'll link everything I got for the birds in the description. I really am happy with them. The brand is Every Grow, and I have to say I'm very pleased with them. So inside, it's a little steamy, but we have, I believe, 7 birds. And they're very active, some of them. Hello. Hello. So, I think because of all the action, look at that egg, that bird's trying to come out. Because of all the action, I think I'm going to take the dry ones out, and I think there's at least 5 that are totally dry. And then maybe I'll leave the rest of them in there for a while. This here is my little temporary setup for them. It's just a large storage bin. I can't remember how many gallons. I got it from Lowe's. And I got this brooder plate for them. I've used heat lamps in the past, but you have to leave it on all the time, and I just don't like the idea of that. Too much of sort of a fire hazard for me, so I got that one. I'll link it on Amazon. And then containers for food and water, and I had this little tunnel for previous baby chicks that we've had in the past. So I actually ordered almost all of the supplies. Let me put you back on the counter. Yeah, so I actually ordered like most of their supplies a few days ago on Amazon, and the plate arrived a couple of days ago, and like electrolytes and probiotics and chick grit and stuff have arrived, but their food, I ordered new food and water containers for them, and food, and those actually haven't arrived yet, but they're on the delivery truck right now. They should be here shortly. So I've got water with electrolytes and probiotics ready for them, and I think they'll be okay for a couple of hours without food. They definitely will. So exciting stuff. Okay, let me see if I can adjust the angle here so you can kind of see as I take them out and put them into their little container. This microphone is going to be really awkward as I'm doing that. This is a weird angle. I don't know the best way to do this, but I'm going to take a few of these little birds out and I'll show you, and then we'll find a better angle. So you're supposed to dip their beaks in the water as you introduce them into their new home so that they know where the water is. It looks maybe a little cruel to give them a little dunk, but it's just the tip of their beak. So I'll show you guys the birds that are coming out, and then you'll see me give them a little bit of a dunk. Okay, these birds are super cute. I'm seeing, hi, this one guy's looking right at me. Hi. Who's a pretty bird? All right, let's see if we can safely do this. Hi, baby. I'll talk to you guys about the breeds here in a minute, but for now, I'm going to put the microphone down and just get them in their new home. What do you have to say? All right, let's get you in the water. Okay, there you go. Okay, 1 down, probably 4 to go. I'm also going to see if I can take out some of these broken shells as I open this. What do you have to say? This guy looks very similar to the last one. Hi. Hello, world. I'm going to dip your head too. Oh, that one just peed. Okay. There you go. Hi. Hi. Welcome. There you go. Oh, they're drinking already. Nice. Smart little creatures. Hello. Who is a pretty bird? I'm so happy. I moved the brooder plate into the middle of the bin, and they're all, well, almost all of them have gone under it to stay warm. So that's good. This is kind of amazing because it looks like every single other egg is pipping. There's two that look like they're, or maybe they call it zipping. There's two that look like they're about ready to come out, but all the rest of them look like they're in progress. Oh my gosh, there's one. I wonder if I could get it on camera. There's one that is really trying to come out. Cute! They all went under the brooder plate. I saw them drinking water. They're staying warm in there. Cool. Let me adjust the camera again and show you. So I moved the brooder plate to the middle of the bin just because they're still very young and wobbly, and I didn't want them to have to make such a long journey. But they're all under it, which is perfect. And I've already seen them drinking some water, some poops already. I think we're in pretty good shape. Again, no food yet, but it should be here momentarily. Let me show you these guys. Hi. That's a nice song you're singing. Oh. They're definitely different from the other two types. These look very silver, and look at this guy. He really wants to come out. Look. Maybe I'll set up the camera here and record it for a minute for you guys, but there's action happening everywhere. Look at these shells. So we've got two. How many did I take out? I think 5? 5 or 6. Okay, let me get you guys resituated here. Okay, I'm gonna let them chill for a little bit, hang out under their little plate, and I'll be back when we have more action happening, but I might try to get a little video of that egg because it looks like it'll hatch any minute. That'd be really cool if I could get it on camera. Okay, I'll see you guys in a little while. Oh my gosh, I missed it, but I think you guys saw it. And there's another one that's about to hatch here too. Look, here he comes. The new one is right behind him, kicking him. Come on. You have an audience. There you go. There you go. Welcome. Slowly making his way. There you go. Get out of there. He's like, let me out of this egg. The other one is blocking. Well, anyway, I'm gonna leave them alone. Oh my gosh, this one's laying on his tummy, and the other one just had his head like resting on his tummy. These are the two that just came out. Friends already. My goodness. There we go. You're free. These gray ones in the front are pretty. I'll talk about all the breeds a little bit later today. Okay, y'all, it's a few hours later. I have bathed, I have gotten dressed. I also just uploaded a video to YouTube about our wedding. If you haven't seen it yet, check that out. It is now live. I did like a live premiere and was chatting with many of you guys as we watched it together, which was super fun. But that took a couple of hours. And there's a lot of things happening here. There are now 7 birds in there, I believe. 1, 2, we'll count them in a minute. And the other 6 that are in here, they're just hanging out under the brooder plate. They're actually watching me as I talk. They're super cute. So we're having a really high hatch rate here. What is that? 6 and 7, 13. And I have 21 eggs, I think. And like I can see the rest of the eggs here. They're like, birds are pipping out of them. Nobody was supposed to arrive until tomorrow. They all just wanted to meet their mommy. These ones under the plate are so freaking cute. But I thought I would get a few more of them out of the incubator. The gray ones, there's 2 gray ones, and they're very pretty. And then I think all the rest of them in there are black. But anyway, I'll get them out. This microphone is so inconvenient for doing anything when you need 2 hands, but I'll get them out. I'll show you. Dip their little heads in the water and get the shells out, and then we'll see what's left. I think there might be 2 or 3 eggs that have no signs of pipping yet. They might not be, viable, but if it's only 2 or 3, holy smokes, that's like 18 birds. Plus the entire second incubator that's gonna hatch in like 2 weeks. So anyway, let me work on getting these kids into their new home. And then I'll show you under the brooder. They're so cute. They're so fluffy. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna take out the gray ones because y'all have been in there for a little while. Hi, who's a pretty bird? Hi, you wanna come out? You're very pretty. Oh, and your friend is pretty too. Let's see. You're ready. Come on. Oh, you're a pretty one. See? Like silver. Look at your tiny wings. Okay, I'm gonna dip you in the water now. I'm sorry. Sorry. Water. Here you go. I'll show you guys in a minute here. Hi. Oh, your friends are popping out to say hello. And maybe drink some water with you. They're like, friend? Oh my gosh, these birds are so cute and fluffy. I'll show you in a minute. We gotta get some more. Hi, Fluffy. This is the, ow, just banged my knee. This is the other gray one. So fluffy. Hi. You wanna dunk your head in the water and meet your new friend? Oh, the other gray one already went under the brooder. Sorry. Okay, okay. Oh, you're drinking a little? Look how freaking cute these birds are. Hi, baby. Look, your friends are saying hi to you. Yeah, look at them. Oh, he's walking immediately to the brooder. He's like, what y'all doing down there? Oh my gosh, so cute. They're all under the brooder. All right, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3. Holy smokes, 5 more birds. These don't look super dry yet, so I think I'm gonna leave them in there for a while to rest. But the gray ones, they've been out for a while, so. And then of the remaining eggs, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 remaining eggs. There are pip holes in 1, 2, 3 that I see. 4. As I'm looking at them, there's an egg that's wobbling. I don't see any pip holes, but it's literally wobbling back and forth. So I'm going to call that a 5. And then I have 2 that I don't see anything happening yet. But they're not due until tomorrow. Tomorrow is their due date. So, okay. It's a little less chaotic in here now. We'll just let them rest, dry off. So freaking cute. Like the baby chicks, they lay on top of the eggs that are hatching. Like 2, 3 of the chickens right now are like laying against one of the eggs that has a hole in it with a little beak popping out. They're like his supporters or her supporters. All these little buddies are hanging out under the brooder, so I'm gonna leave them for a bit and we'll check in shortly. Oh, hello. Good morning. It's another bright and early morning. Mostly just early. Not quite so bright yet, but yesterday was a big day. Today is supposed to be hatching day. And in that incubator remains just 1 egg, which means we've got 20 chicks out of 21. Very successful. Most of them came yesterday, like all throughout the day. So as you saw, I was doing different things in the house yesterday, but I would periodically come and check the incubator, and when some of them were hatched and dried and all that, I would just move them over into the little bin here for their temporary home, and then kind of removing eggshells too from the incubator, and they just kept coming. Last night when we went to bed, there were, I think, 4 or 5 eggs remaining. 2 had little pip holes in them and 3 did not. So I thought, well, maybe these 3 won't hatch, and that's still a lot of birds. Nope, they all arrived overnight. So there's 1 egg left in there. It's got the pip holes. It actually had the pip holes yesterday. Most of the day. I'm afraid maybe that bird didn't survive. I'm not sure. today is supposed to be hatch day, so I'm gonna leave them alone. There's 4 more chickens in the incubator that are still kind of wet and new, so I'm letting them dry off in there. And all the rest of them, there's 16 birds next to me in the bin. Hi. I'm gonna talk to the people. They're super cute. They're super cute. Everybody looks well. Nobody looks unhealthy. And this one, I'll come back to this one. My coworker and I decided we have to name her after our boss. So her name is Eileen. And I'll explain why in a minute. I'm doing skin to skin time there for a minute. So yeah, very successful, and in fact, way more successful. I was hoping to get like maybe 12 to hatch. We got 20. So as I think I mentioned yesterday, we want to have hens. We really don't have any need for a rooster. So out of the 20, you know, maybe half of them are female. We'll see. Because yeah, we just really don't need a rooster. The second incubator over there, those only have one type of chicken, and I ordered them separately, and they came much later. Those have ayam semani chickens in there, and if you haven't seen an ayam semani chicken, they're gorgeous. They're all black. They're super pretty. I think they're probably my favorite chicken. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 8 eggs in there. Ayam semanis. I don't quite have as high hopes that those eggs will do well. They took quite a long time in the mail to get here. So we'll see. And they're not supposed to hatch for like 2 more weeks. But if we do have an ayam semani rooster, I'm gonna keep him. We had one before, and he was amazing. He protected his ladies. He was super beautiful, but I'm hoping I get some of the hens too. Those chickens don't hatch particularly beautiful eggs. They are, let me see. Yeah, they're just sort of off-white. Not super white. But I love the birds. All the rest of these chickens should hatch really pretty colors. I mean, I kept all the eggshells initially, kind of just as an experiment, because as I was candling them in the first and second weeks, you can see pretty easily in white eggs what's happening inside when you're candling them, but these eggs are all so dark, and there's all kinds of colors from dark brown, light green, dark green, some bluish, and even some pinkish eggs, which is exactly what I was hoping for, but some of them were very hard to see into. So I had written question marks on the ones that I literally couldn't tell if they were all supposed to be fertile, but I couldn't tell if like the chicks were growing inside of them very well until the very end, but I wasn't sure. So I kept all these eggshells to see like how well my assessment went. Apparently I didn't need to do an assessment because all but one so far has hatched. So I think I can get rid of all the yucky eggshells now, but yeah. So I ordered all of those birds from 2 different shops on Etsy. I think I can post the link to both of them. And I guess I can look it up for you. They're a mix of different birds. And they both, like shops on Etsy, they sell fertilized eggs with the purpose of getting you chickens that will lay nicely colored eggs. And I just find that they're nicer to look at. Hopefully we'll have more eggs than we need. We like to give them as gifts, and people really like the really pretty colored eggs too. So these chickens are all kind of like mutts, but that's okay. That's okay because that's what we wanted. Let me see if I can tell you. So I ordered, it's weird because on the app it doesn't let me read the description. Oh yes, it does. Okay, so for one of the shops, I ordered a dozen fertilized eggs. And it says, fertilized eggs collected daily from our free-range flock of colorful egg layers. Roosters are a black copper moran and an Easter egger. Hens include black copper morans, olive eggers, well summers, Easter eggers, black astrolorb, lavender orpington, Rhode Island red, and silver-laced Wyandotte. So, I kind of know all of those birds individually. These are bred, between species, I guess, of chickens. So, they're all kind of mutts, but they're bred with the intention of giving you pretty eggs. And then let me show you the other shop. This lady's shop is called Bougie Chicken, which I think is funny. This item and shop are currently unavailable. I just looked at it yesterday. I just want the description. Well, it was a different mix. I guess I can't tell you right now. Maybe she paused her shop because she doesn't have any more eggs. It was a different mix of birds. So, right now, the majority of them look sort of black. There's a few little yellow ones, there's a few super cute gray ones, and there's a few that are sort of golden colored. There's two in here that are really pretty, like goldish colors. The one I was just holding up, Eileen, she's kind of the only one that looks like her. She kind of looks like an Easter egger, if I remember correctly, from the last time we had chicks. But they're super cute. I think everything's working out well. I have my heat plate going, and they hang out underneath it, most of the time, and then they wander out, and they've been eating and drinking, and so far everything looks really good. So, yeah, very productive. We'll see how this last egg does. I had written a question mark on the shell. I can see it. It's a really pretty dark green color, and I can see into it. There's a big pip hole, but I haven't seen a whole lot of movement. Maybe he's resting, or she. So, anyway, you want to look at some baby chicks? So once these are all dried out, I'm going to give this guy, I'll give him another day or two to see if he can hatch. And then I'm going to disassemble and clean the incubator, and then I'll just have one more incubator. I very well may need a second setup. This is more birds than I anticipated, and that's fine. I actually have all the accessories, and I have more of these big bins. I would just need another heat plate, which is fine, because as these grow, they're going to get big. We have a secondary space. They're not going to stay in bins for very long, but I think even in these little bins, they're going to outgrow their space pretty quickly. So, yeah, I'll just show you. I'll just show you what we got going on. So in here we have 4 little friends left. 2 little kind of golden colored ones. 2 little black ones, black and white. And this is the egg. You see? Let me get a better angle. You see? He's been working on it. But I don't see any movement in there. So we'll see. If only 1 out of 21 doesn't make it, those are pretty good odds. It's a very successful hatch. So I'm going to let them hang out in there for a little while. And in here is the little chicken setup. So this one is Eileen. We like our boss very much, but our boss is very loud. She's a very loud and fiery Puerto Rican. And we were trying to come up with chicken names yesterday, and my coworker said, you have to identify the loudest one of them all and name her Eileen. And I think my boss will get a kick out of that too. She knows she's loud. And this one definitely was screaming all night. Very loud. But let me see if I can move this for a second so you can see all the rest. Look at all the chickies. They're super pretty. Look at this little gray one. Light gray and super floofy. There's... Hi? I'm gonna just sit on my hand. There's a darker gray one. Come here, you. Come here, you. This one has a almost black head and a little bit darker gray body. And then most of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 total, are varying shades of black or black and white. Like this one is all black. Super cute, super floofy. And most of them, hold on one second. Most of them have varying shades of black and white. So, and then there's like a yellow spotted guy. Hi. Hello. You're mommy. And then, oh, you're eating food. I won't disturb you. There's a yellow, sort of solid looking one. And then there's Eileen, who's, I've showed you, she's a little bit more orangey. And there's this other one that looks kind of like Eileen, but more yellow tinged. So I'm not particularly good at identifying breeds when they're chicks. And like I said, these are all kind of mixes. But if you guys have any thoughts about what they could be, let me know. They're super cute. Super cute. I just have these like wee pads in here right now. I had read it's good for them when they're a few days old and still figuring out how to walk and use their legs. I do have pine shavings to put in here later, but these are good and actually really easy to clean while they're little. So yeah, and then like I said, 4 more in there. 2 black and white and 2 sort of golden. I think the golden ones look pretty wet. So I'm not sure what they'll look like when they're dry. But yeah, simple setup right now. Let me put your house back in so you can warm up again. Alright kids, watch out. I'm going to put your house down on top of you. There we go. Yeah, this space is going to fill up real quick when they grow a little bit. So I'll have to have 2 bins. At least for the first couple weeks. We've got alternative options as they get bigger. But for now, they all fit under this plate very well with room for more. Maybe I'll put the camera in there and you can get like live action view of the chickens. That'd be funny. Let's try that. All right, y'all. That's it for the morning. Very productive. Everybody looks happy, mostly. I'll check back in a little while later for maybe my last clip once these guys are ready to move, and then I'll give you a status update on that last egg. But anyway, we're in good shape. I'm happy. Good morning, y'all. It's the next morning, and I'm happy to report that out of the 21 eggs, there were technically 22 eggs that went into the incubator 3 weeks ago. There was only 1 that didn't develop at all, and it was removed on like day 10 or something. So out of the 21 that continued, 20 birds have hatched. So we really only had one that didn't sort of make it out of the shell, and one that either wasn't fertilized or just didn't develop. So we have 20 little bird friends. They're doing really well. This one here, this is Yoko Ono. Isn't she cute? Want to talk to your fans? Our one dog, Tucker, he's very interested in what's happening in here. Look at him. Hey, get down. This one is maybe my favorite so far. This is Chikira. She's gray and floofy, and she has hairy feet, but we don't judge her for that, do we? No, we don't. And who else can I show you guys? They're all under the brooder. This is Hennifer Aniston. No, other way. She's super cute. They're all super cute. Super cute. So I think that will be it for this initial video. I will link everything in the description, everything I used, from the incubators, the brooders, all the stuff. Plus, if I can, I'll link the 2 or the 3 links to the Etsy shops where I got the eggs, if you're interested. Although I did see, like I mentioned earlier, one of the shops is closed temporarily, maybe because they just don't have eggs at the moment. But yeah, I will link everything below. And if you guys are enjoying chicken content, I know it's a little different from what I have been doing, let me know. I'm not going to turn this into a chicken channel, but there will definitely be updates as we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll leave you with a little view into chicken world. So until next time, take care, guys.